Hello, lovely Libra, and welcome to 19. Can you believe we're here already? How time flies. This is Gwendolyn. Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. This video is going to be a monthly Taroscope for Libra for January, and I'm using today the BOTA deck. This is a variant on the Rider-Waite. I just love the imagery on this one, and it's meant to be colored in. I haven't done that yet, but I am using it because I love the imagery. And I also want to get your feedback for readings about what deck you'd like me to use. I've decided to open up the channel to get feedback from my stars. So I'm going to use today's deck as the BOTA. It's the Builders of the Addendum deck. I'll have a link below to talk about it. But let me know which deck you'd like me to use for your next reading, Libra, and I will go with whatever deck gets the most votes in the comments. So this one is the Morgan Greer deck. This is the one I used forever and ever for most of my readings. This is the full card, and the imagery looks like this. It's very storybook. Morgan Greer is that one, or you could just say deck. Deck is the Rider-Waite. That's the standard sort of deck. Here's the imagery on that one by Pamela Coleman Smith. And then deck that I'm offering is, I've used this one lately. This is Miss Cleo's. It's kind of cartoonish, but I find that the readings come out pretty well with this one. So I'm enjoying it. So deck one would be BOTA, deck two would be Morgan Greer, deck would be Rider-Waite, and deck would be Miss Cleo's. So let me know, and I'll do the reading, next month's reading, with that deck. I might even do relationship readings for two shadow highlight ones. So let me know if you're interested in that too. I might do that variation instead of the regular ones, or maybe in addition to the regular ones. So while I'm shuffling, I just want to tell you about two eclipses that we have happening this month, as well as we just had Mars go into Aries. That's its home placement, January 1st. So Mars is very happy in Aries, and it means going forward, breaking through barriers, action taking place. It's really fiery energy about desires and motivations and enthusiasm and passions. It's all that fire energy that Mars brings with it, and it's very happy in Aries. It's almost like a new beginning. So you may have been feeling that already. Last year we had a lot of retrograde motion, so that's very challenging motion to deal with. And when we go forward again, like we are this year, it feels really good. It's like clearing out. I've been telling a lot of people last year was like clearing out when you're, say, buying a house and you discover all the things that you need to repair or fix, identify all the weaknesses. That's like retrograde motion. Helps you identify where the weaknesses are so that you can repair, correct, purge, and release that, so that when you actually move into the house or go forward, everything is strong and fortified and fixed and orderly, and it's ready for use. So that's a lot of the purpose of all that retrograde stuff last year. And then we have that new moon partial solar eclipse that happened on January 5th in Capricorn, which was your fourth house, Libra. And that's the house of the home. It's the house of parenting. It's the house of the inner self, the inner world. So there may be something new there that you are inviting in this month in terms of bringing something new into your home. And with the eclipse energy, it helps to identify the shadow aspects of, like, maybe was there a closet or a room in your house that was cluttered that you wanted to clear stuff out of and repurpose it for a new purpose? That's very much partial solar eclipse, new moon energy in your fourth house. It means like you clear out all the junk and then use something or invite something new in that makes your world beautiful. So in other words, something that was used for storage, like say you had an attic that was used for storage, maybe you got rid of a lot of stuff or are going to get rid of a lot of stuff, and then invite in, maybe use it as a garden greenhouse kind of thing, or a place to store art supplies or something new, repurposing it, an art studio perhaps, or a guest house, guest room. Sorry about that, my voice is getting a little dry. So That's the energy of new moon, partial solar eclipse, inviting something new into your home environment. For some of you, it could be like getting a new puppy or a new kitten, or some of you be having a new child. Someone new in your home could be a foreign exchange student, that kind of energy. And getting rid of something that is old, releasing something. It could be emotional, releasing emotional ties to sentimental things that are kind of just taking up space. That's also eclipse energy. Woo! Lots of jumpers. I'm just going to take a look at these really quick. We've got Eight of Swords, quick moving energy, but I feel like limitation. So sometimes this means powerlessness or just being trapped in your thoughts. If you've been feeling that way, it's coming to a conclusion. If you've been in your head a lot, Libra, it's coming to a conclusion. World is an ending there. And then we've got Queen of Coins. This is the domestic world, feeling a little bit out of sorts or challenges with an earth sign person, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But Ten of Wands in reverse is also saying there's an ending here. It's some of you, if you've been taking care of like a mother figure, there's going to be an ending wrapping up to that. Or if you have felt like your domestic life is out of sorts, you're gonna come to a place where you're no longer carrying the burden of that. That's gonna wrap up. There's some sort of ending happening here, and I get the sense that it's as you clear things out, Libra. That also leads me to the full moon in Leo on January 20th, the night of January 20th over to the 21st. It's happening at 0 degrees Leo, which is your 11th house, Libra. This is your house of friendships, of networking, of technology, of marketing, broadcasting. The audience is 11th house. Ooh, we got another flipper. 9 of Cups. So this is wish fulfillment. This is happiness. This is feeling satisfied. Love that for you. At any rate, a full moon is when something gets illuminated. So your 11th house of friendships, of community, of technology, science, innovation, all of that is getting illuminated during this full moon on January 20th. And it's also, by the way, a total lunar eclipse. So the moon energy always has to do with our emotions. So you feel like you're coming to completion on certain friendships is how I'm reading it for some of you. For some of you, it may be just that your networking strategy or your marketing strategy is being illuminated. But because full moons are culminations, completions, times to release things, and it's in your 11th house of friendships, some of you may identify old emotional patterns, because we're dealing with the moon again, remember, and the total lunar eclipse brings up the shadow aspect of our emotions. So there may be old feelings that need purging and releasing as they relate to your friendships, Libra. More jumpers. Some of you could be letting go of some fire sign friends. This could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. That you've put a lot of work into it, but you're seeing that you have other options. So I'm getting the sense that with the total lunar eclipse, that is an opportunity to identify any shadow aspects of our emotions that we want to bring to the surface to purge and release. And it being in your 11th house of friendships, of networking, there may be parts of your community, your tribe, your circle of friends, any of that you just want to do a cleaning house on, for example. So that's the energy. It's going to translate different ways for different people, but that's what's going on. Perfect time, Libra, to let go of anything, especially if there's emotional baggage left over from last year. Regarding friendships or networks or anything like that. If say it's an old blog that you just no longer want to continue doing, that's another example of that. So let's see what's coming up for Libra in the cards here for February. Please give me information for Libra that is the most illuminating, most helpful for Libra. And right coming out of the gate, we have strength in reverse. So some of you could be dealing with a Leo that is being a little bit challenging or a little troublesome. For some of you, this may be your strength, that you're feeling right now as it opens that you're kind of strained for patience on something, or that you're not at the height of your strengths. Sometimes when I see cards like this, like if I see the Sun, Major Arcana in reverse, I'll read it that in the upright position it's 100% potency, and then in the reverse it's like 70% potency. So there's some sort of challenge to your strength right now. Maybe your strength just feels like it's being challenged by something else. Or potentially it could be a Leo person, or that you're just not feeling very patient. You're wanting things to get off the ground quickly. There's something that feels not so solid right now. And Two of Wands, this may relate to a decision that you need to make. Sometimes Libras can struggle with decision making because you're so fair-minded and you're so just that you see the pros and cons of both sides very evenly and very well. That's why Libras make such great judges, is because you're very fair. And sometimes, though, the low side of that is that it can sometimes present a difficulty in making decisions because you see the pros on both sides. So it could be that your strength is being sapped, Libra, because there's this decision before you and you're not sure which one to take. You're not sure which path to take, left or right, up or down. There's some sort of, you're almost like paralyzed by your choices here. It's telling me too that you need to focus on your personal courage and boldness. Normally Two of Wands here is about holding the world in the palm of your hands, feeling like the world is your oyster, receiving help on something, making goals. Do you feel any challenge of your strength in achieving your goals as you're opening to Teen Libra? That's a question that I'm putting forth to you because it looks like part of the challenge to your strength is some sort of decision that you're either trying to make or that you're holding on to or that is you're faced with right now that is like, I just can't deal with that right now. So let's see what comes up to help you with that. All right, the Moon. This is a great card for you right now, Libra. This is, you'll see in the Moon, the path forward is illuminated by the Moon. And I'm going to say that your dreams are going to be really helpful for helping to identify that path. And here's how to make the choice. The way to find the balanced answer, the moderate path, the way to serenity, is because this path also shows up in the Temperance card, which is the card of moderation and serenity and peace. The way forward is to balance or make a decision that is balanced between your left brain and your right brain. It's between the dog and the wolf here. The dog represents our left brain, which is all mind energy. It is logical. It is analytical. It is, philosophical. It is very mental energy. And then the wolf represents our more passionate, creative, wild side. It's our right brain. It's the things that we have a gut feeling about, that we have an instinct about, where our desires get lit up. So the way forward, Libra, if you are struggling with any sort of challenge to your personal power, your personal confidence, or making any kind of decision, the way forward is to get really in tune with your deep feelings about it. That's what this lobster represents in this Moon card. How do I really feel about it? If I let those deep feelings come up in the gentle light of the Moon, what is true for me and what's not true for me? That's the question that the Moon presents. What is real versus what is fantasy? What is permanent versus what is illusory? What is true versus what's an illusion? So, look at it from a left brain point of view, weigh the pros and cons, look at it rationally, analytically, and then also check in with, how do I feel about it? What does gut instinct tell me? What does intuition have to say about it? What feels like yes and what feels like no? Those are the two balancing towers here that will help you find your way forward. And I encourage you, if you're trying to make a decision on something and having challenges with it, do those sort of check-ins at night, right before your dream state, or right after your dream state when you wake up. Find out what information came up in your dreams. You can ask, I'd like help in making this decision. Please give me information in my dreams. And And then write down what you get in the morning. It may help you go forward, and it may help you reclaim your strength, Libra. So let's take a look at what else is coming up. I'm doing sort of a little bit more extended, in-depth reading for you, Libra, because I know it's coming a little late here in May, and I know you've waited a bit for the last few readings, so I'm just taking time and doing some extra stuff with you today. Then we have Four of Coins. This means holding on for dear life to what you have, wanting to maintain the status quo. It may mean a little bit of fear about money. This is usually the Midas card, where he holds on to coins as tightly as he can because he's afraid that if he lets anything go, he'll end up in the poorhouse. So whenever you might be clinging on to something or holding on to something, Libra, maybe an old way of feeling that needs to be let go of. I also am seeing this as a sort of eclipse energy. Keep in mind that there's two, see how the moon is eclipsed here? The sun, there's both sun and moon here. That's happening during the new moon and the full moon. So during these two eclipses, really great time to let go, loosen up, loosen your grip of anything that feels like you're clinging to it emotionally. Maybe it's fears. The Four of Coins is usually a fear-based card. Usually it's having to do with fear of money or fear of holding on to something that we're clinging to for dear life. But one of the images that I bring up with Four of Coins is that if you're holding a stick of butter like this, if you clench your fist, all the butter goes through your fingers and you have less in your hand. But if you open your hand, you're actually able to hold more. So the tighter your grip is, the less you're able to hold, the less you're able to receive more in. So ask yourself, what is it that I'm clinging on to for dear life? What is it that I'm holding on to? Why am I trying to maintain the status quo out of fear? What would happen if I let go? Those might be good things to ask at the opening of your Libra. And we have the Ace of Swords. There's a truth that's right in front of you, but that you may not be seeing. Sometimes when I see Ace of Swords represents the truth with a capital T, I often call it the truth will set you free card. But with it in the reverse, there's some fear, doubt, or resistance to acknowledging a truth that's in front of you. I often say when I see this card in reverse, I speak of it as, I'm trying not to hear that, or I'm trying not to see that. It's right in front of you. It's right in front of your nose, Libra. What is this truth that wants to come in, that wants you to see it, that you're either resisting out of fear, doubt, or some sort of challenge, some sort of block? That's one possibility. It's also possible that this could be a new beginning that you're not quite ready to take. Aces are always new beginnings, and it's a new thought, it's a new revelation, an insight, a clarity, an aha moment. And when it's in the reverse, it's saying that there might be some sort of fear or block or delay. Like, I know I have this insight, I have this idea, but I'm afraid to act on it. I'm not ready to take that plunge. I'm not ready to say that truth. This could also be a meaning of this card, is that you've identified something that's true, but you're hesitant for whatever reason to say it. So those are all possibilities there. It could be that not speaking your truth is also something that's sapping your strength, Libra, with Ace of Swords in reverse right underneath that strength card. It may be that you're afraid to say something to a Leo, I'm getting for some of you. Then we have Six of Wands. This is success. This is victory. Sorry, this is not six. This is Nine of Wands in reverse. This is feeling a little bit defensive. This is the Survivor card. But I like this card in the reverse, Libra, because what it means is that you're getting up after being knocked down several times. You're saying, I don't care. It's like getting up and shaking the dirt off of you and saying, you know what? Nothing can keep me down. This is the Survivor card, what I sometimes call the Cool Hand Luke card, because he keeps getting knocked down and keeps getting back up. And when Nine of Wands is in reverse, it's saying like, no one can hold me down. I don't care what comes at me, I can handle it. I know I can survive. I've survived many times before. It's almost like a letting go of defensiveness or paranoia. And it's saying, I no longer am standing in any sort of victim mentality. I have healed from all the trials and tribulations that were thrown at me. And I'm actually getting that it's related to a lot of the retrograde stuff from last year that you might have sustained a lot of punches, but that you are now saying, you know what, I had a time of recovery and healing, and I'm now healed. I'm now just brushing the dirt off. I'm leaving that in the past. Let's see what else is. Some of you might be in denial about that, but notice where you have healed from things. The reason I say that is that Ace of Swords representing the truth in the reverse, sometimes it can be denial. And some of you may not see how much you've healed from those struggles or challenges from last year. And then Magician comes, your power is here. This is a major arcana card. It's the I am card. It's the card of manifestation. Here's your personal power. This says, I'm a magician. I can create whatever I want. Abracadabra, there it is. So it means having all the resources around you to create what you want. And the power of magician is having a soul concentrated focus on one thing. That's the one card. This is one idea, one thought, one dream. Therefore, I manifest it. I create it right in front of me. So with this card showing up, it's saying I am capable. I am the controller of my own destiny. I am the person who creates my own life. I have all the resources to do it. And it's through focus, where I put my attention. That's where results come in. That's where whatever I focus upon, that's what I create. So if you're having any challenge to your personal power, to your confidence at the opening of the month, I see you making a decision. I see you having recovered from something, and now you are standing in your power, in your authority, and you're creating results through that, Libra. I also see that it comes about through your work of maybe during this first week of, as you clear out, as you're making this decision, as you clear out old emotional baggage, you get clear about what you want to do, what you want to create, what you want to bring to your life. So that's powerful energy there. I see if there's any challenges here at the beginning of the month, by the middle of the month, you are sitting in your own domain saying, you know what, full steam ahead. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to create. And then Five of Cups. Five of Cups often means focusing on some of our losses instead of what we have still remaining. So I'm going to encourage you, Libra, if there's been pain or sorrow or grief that you're going through, I'm going to encourage you to see the love that you still have. If some of you have lost someone, I want to encourage you to look at it as that they still live on within you. If you have lost in a relationship, if you've lost that person, I'd like you to see it for what did it teach you? What are you left with? Think of the good times that you spent with that person. How did you emotionally grow with them? There's a lot of choice of focus in this card, and it's a card of cups, so it's an emotionally based card. But you can focus on the loss or the grief, or you can turn around and see what is still available. What did you gain from that? How did your heart expand from that experience? What still remains that you can focus on and grow rather than on the loss that was sustained? So that's going on there for you as well. Then of Cups, this doubles, and this is emotional, complete fulfillment, contentment, joy, peace within the family. It's the most amount of cups on a card, Libra. So it looks like if you are experiencing any sort of loss or grief or sorrow, by the end of the month, it doubles. And that means in a good way. Like, it is harmony, it's peace. You've come to peace with it. You've come to this place of emotional fulfillment. The most amount of cards. It's sort of like the feeling of the end of the rainbow. Everything that you could possibly want and more. Because you focus on what you have. This is a real gratitude card. So maybe some of you are, the way through Five of Cups energy is to focus on gratitude instead of what you don't have or what you've lost, to focus on what you do have and what you appreciate, and then it doubles. And you have more to appreciate, more to be thankful for. This card is so abundant. It's so much love. It's in cups, and it's usually about, family, harmony, joy. It's everything good, So enjoy that as the end of the month comes up. And then we have King of Wands. Again, someone may be dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And this means big thinking. Someone who has a dream, a boldness to them. They know how to think big. I always think of Richard Branson when I see this card. Thinking big and knowing how to achieve it is King of Wands energy. He's the expert of action. He knows how to go after his dreams and he knows how to achieve them. So I get the sense of a lot of fullness here at the end of the month. And if you are looking to achieve some of your dreams, talk to a fire sign who has done it. The King of Wands energy is huge. They know how to do big things. So again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, someone like that could really help you, Libra. And then the Star, another card about your dreams. This is a card about hopes and dreams and wish fulfillment. So I see for some of you a dream becoming true at the end of the month. I'm also seeing it around this full moon, total lunar eclipse. Dreams coming true. What is that for you, Libra? It's really, look at this. You've got Knight of Cups, emotional fulfillment, King of Wands, big thinker, big ideas, knows how to take expert in taking action on things. And this is your dreams. So a storyline that I'm seeing here is that if you're feeling a little bit shaky or not % confident or having a hard time deciding which way to go, how to make a decision, look to your dreams. Look to the balanced option. Look to what's really identifying what's real versus fantasy. And then as you come out of denial or you recover and heal from something, you get really clear about what your focus is, what your aim is, what do you want to create, and identifying the resources around you despite whatever losses you may have incurred. And then it doubles as you show appreciation, as you really do see that you have a lot to work with. You just kind of go full steam ahead. Emotional fulfillment, peace within the family, love, honor, appreciation, big dreams, big action, and hopes and dreams fulfilled. This is that Kermit or Jiminy Cricket card, like when you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. This is wishes fulfilled, Libra. So beautiful, powerful, creative energy. I mean, there's Magician right in the middle of your reading here. So you're transmuting. The Magician is the alchemist, along with Temperance, the angel, that transmutes any sort of fears into courage, creative energy, and results. I'm thinking about the Wizard of Oz, the lion, who was the cowardly lion out of the gates, but once he discovers his own heart, he becomes powerful. He becomes king of the jungle. So that's like your energy this month, Libra. And guess what? I swear to God, you saw me shuffle. End comes out as the Fool. You become refreshed, renewed, open to new adventures. This is infinite potential energy. This is being able to work with anything. It's sort of like saying, what is it that I want to create? The whole world is open to me. I'm fresh, I'm new. This is beginner's mind for those of you who have a Buddhist tradition. It is having faith, having optimism, feeling carefree, having like a giggle or a laugh or a spring in your step. And both of these cards, both Star and Fool, are incredibly amazing cards in terms of new beginnings and feeling refreshed and renewed. Star comes after the Tower card, which is the storm card. And so Star is like the feeling that when the storms have washed everything away and there's that feeling of renewal and peace, that's what Star is about. And Fool also has a certain freshness to him. He's carrying a rose, and it's almost like he's just smelled that rose and he's about to take his next step. And even though it's off the cliff, he knows that the universe will catch him. He's got that much faith in the divine order of things. So I really see at the end of it, you're going to be feeling refreshed and renewed, especially if you're coming into it with any sort of wobbliness, any sort of lack of patience, any sort of lack of direction on decision making. You are just going for it, and it's a dream come true, Libra. I love this for you. So that's a reading for you, for Libra. I want to thank you for your patience for it. And please do let me know which deck you'd like me to use for your next reading, as well as any spreads that you might like. I normally do this card spread, but if you'd like to see me do the Celtic Cross or Shadow Highlights or pick a reading, let me know, because I want to tailor this channel to you, stars. and or whether you'd like to see me on camera or just the cards. I'd like to tailor it to what you'd like to see. So thank you for tuning in, Libra. If you liked this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it with another Libra. And if you'd ever like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that in the top right corner here to visit our website. And as always, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you all are having a wonderful start to 2019 and hope you have a great year. Thanks for watching. Yours in the stars.